Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This audio uses AI narration to present our original book analysis. Today we're taking a deep dive into Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly. You've shared this heartwarming romance novel with us, and we're ready to explore its depths. So get ready for a unique blend of love, laughter, and those poignant reflections on life and loss as we follow the journey of Briana and Jacob.
Right away, Jimenez pulls you in. We meet Briana, this dedicated ER doctor who's dealing with a lot. Her brother Benny's dealing with kidney failure. And on top of that, she's got to deal with her ex-husband Nick getting married to her former best friend.
Oh, wow. Talk about adding insult to injury.
Yeah.
So you've got this already emotionally charged situation, and then Jacob Maddox walks in, the new doctor at the hospital with a secret crush on Briana.
And their first encounters are anything but smooth. Broken phones, reprimands for running in the halls, that kind of awkwardness.
It's almost like Jimenez is setting the stage for some classic rom-com tension. So we have Briana, fiery and quick-witted, and then Jacob, more reserved and introverted.
Yeah, you can tell right away that they're complete opposites, but there's this undeniable chemistry simmering beneath the surface.
It makes you wonder how their personalities are going to clash and connect as the story unfolds. But then things get really interesting when Jacob finds out he's a match for Benny. And he decides to become his kidney donor, all without Briana knowing.
I mean, that's a pretty huge decision, especially for someone you barely know. It really says a lot about Jacob's character, his compassion, and willingness to help.
It's a gesture that speaks volumes, definitely. And as if things weren't complicated enough, Jacob decides to invent a girlfriend to avoid the drama surrounding his ex-girlfriend's wedding.
Oh yeah, the classic fake relationship trope. I was wondering where that was going to come into play.
It leads to some pretty hilarious situations as he tries to keep up the charade, and he ends up asking Briana for help.
I bet that makes for some interesting interactions between them.
Definitely adds a whole new layer of complexity to their dynamic, especially since they're both dealing with their own relationship baggage, trying to figure out what they want in the future.
That's what I like about Jimenez's writing. She takes a familiar trope like the fake relationship and adds these layers of depth, making it more than just a comedic situation. It becomes a catalyst for their personal growth, forcing them to confront their vulnerabilities and desires.
Exactly. It's not just surface-level entertainment. And one thing that struck me about this book was how realistically Jimenez portrays Benny's illness.
Yeah, she doesn't sugarcoat the challenges of kidney failure, the physical and emotional toll it takes on Benny, the impact on his life, and the ripple effects on his family.
You see Benny struggling with depression, losing his job, and facing the possibility of dialysis.
It's heartbreaking, but it also showcases his resilience and the strength of his family, especially Briana.
Briana's love for her brother is really one of the driving forces of the story. She'd do anything for him, even put her own life on hold.
It's that fierce loyalty that makes her so relatable, even when she makes some questionable decisions.
And speaking of questionable decisions, who could forget Briana's foray into the world of online dating?
Oh, the scenes were both hilarious and painfully awkward.
I mean, a guy with a breathalyzer in his car and another with a swastika tattoo. It's clear she's looking for a genuine connection, but she's also guarded, afraid of getting hurt again.
It makes you wonder if she'll ever let her guard down enough to find what she's looking for.
And then you have Jacob, who's dealing with his own anxieties and the remnants of his past relationship.
He's almost too nice, you know? Always putting others first, blaming himself for things that aren't his fault.
He's definitely an introvert, struggling to express himself, especially in social situations.
But under that quiet exterior, you can sense this depth of emotion, a yearning for connection.
Jimenez is great at creating characters that feel real and relatable, even with all their imperfections.
And as the story unfolds, you get a deeper understanding of their inner thoughts and motivations. Jimenez uses alternating perspectives, so you get to see both sides of the story.
That's a technique I always enjoy because it adds so much depth to the characters.
And those letters, the ones Briana and Jacob exchange, they play such a significant role in their developing connection.
It's like they can be more vulnerable and honest with each other through writing, bypassing the awkwardness of face-to-face conversations.
Exactly. It's a clever way to explore the power of communication. Like that scene where Briana asks Jacob if he's sending her all the butt-related patients. It's hilarious and shows how they use humor to navigate the complexities of their relationship.
Jimenez has a knack for blending humor with those deeper emotional undercurrents. She tackles topics like social anxiety and grief, but she does it with this delicate balance of wit and empathy. It makes the story both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Then just when you think you have a grasp on the dynamics between Briana and Jacob, you meet Jacob's family.
The Maddoxes.
They are something else. Loud, opinionated, a little bit crazy, and a complete contrast to Jacob's reserved nature.
They definitely inject a whole new level of energy and chaos into the story. And they really embrace Briana, even though she's supposedly Jacob's fake girlfriend.
It's heartwarming to see that acceptance, especially considering how Briana's previous relationships have played out.
It shows that family isn't always about blood ties, but about the people who love and accept you for who you are. And that's what makes yours truly so captivating. It's a story about finding hope and connection in unexpected places, about learning to trust yourself and open your heart to new possibilities.
I'm really curious to see how Briana and Jacob navigate the obstacles ahead and whether they can overcome their fears to build a lasting relationship.
Me too. And that's where we'll pick up in part 2 of our deep dive into Yours Truly.
As we get further into Yours Truly, things just get more and more interesting, with Jacob trying to convince his family that he's totally over his ex, Amy. And Briana playing the role of this super devoted girlfriend. She handles it all like a pro, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive how she navigates the whole fake girlfriend situation, especially with a family as quirky as the Maddoxes.
Oh, and that scene at the family dinner. Jacob's mother, Joy, the sex therapist, decides to give them an impromptu couples counseling session. I was dying.
Oh my gosh, I know. Briana's just trying to answer these really personal questions from Joy, all while keeping up the appearance of this happy couple.
And somehow she manages to pull it off. It's a testament to her quick thinking and adaptability.
It's definitely one of those scenes where you just have to laugh out loud. But beyond the humor, there's this genuine warmth that comes from the Maddoxes.
Yeah, they accept Briana, flaws and all, and that's something she's been craving after her past relationships.
It's like they offer her this sense of belonging and security, a stark contrast to the coldness she experienced with Nick.
And then, bam! Jacob's dad accidentally reveals that Jacob's Benny's kidney donor. Talk about a plot twist.
It changes everything, doesn't it? Suddenly, this fake relationship takes on a whole new meaning for Briana. All that gratitude, realizing the lengths Jacob went to help her brother.
It's such a raw moment. Briana breaks down in the supply closet. You can feel the weight of everything she's been carrying just pouring out.
It's one of those scenes that really gets you in the feels. But it also complicates things for Jacob because now he can't tell his family the truth without revealing the donation.
Yeah, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And as they try to keep up the charade, their feelings for each other start to grow.
They're spending all this time together, dealing with Benny's illness, sharing those vulnerable moments.
Like that scene at the family cabin where they get locked in Jacob's room.
Oh, the irony, right. They're supposed to be pretending they're not a couple, but they're forced into this close proximity.
And it leads to some pretty intense moments between them, forcing them to acknowledge the chemistry that's been building.
It's almost like Jimenez is giving them this space to finally be honest with each other, even if it's just through subtle gestures and unspoken desires.
But they're both still carrying so much baggage from their past relationships. Jacob's still hurting from his breakup with Amy, and Briana's dealing with the aftermath of her divorce and that fear of repeating past mistakes.
And it's through these intimate conversations that they start to chip away at those walls.
They share their insecurities, their hopes for the future. It's a mix of playful banter and heartfelt honesty.
And those letters they exchange, those continue to play such a significant role in their emotional connection.
Right. It's like they can be their true selves without the pressure of face-to-face interaction.
It's a reminder of how powerful communication can be in all its forms.
But just when you think things are finally moving in the right direction, Briana overhears Jacob and Amy talking.
At Amy's engagement party, no less.
It just shatters her confidence and sends her spiraling back into self-doubt.
It's heartbreaking because we, as readers, know that Jacob's feelings for Amy have changed.
But Briana doesn't have that insight.
She's stuck in this cycle of insecurity, convinced that history's repeating itself.
And instead of talking to Jacob about her fears, she pushes him away, convinced that she's not good enough.
And then, of course, they end up locked in Jacob's room again, this time during a family gathering.
Oh, this scene.
The tension, the pent-up emotions, it all leads to this incredibly passionate encounter.
It's a major turning point in their relationship, but it also brings up a whole new set of challenges.
And then Briana drops a bombshell. She's pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a game changer. It just amplifies all of Briana's anxieties about commitment and trust.
She's terrified of repeating her past, of bringing a child into a world where she feels destined to be abandoned.
And Jacob, he's in love with her, but he's also hurt and confused by her reaction.
It's a really tough situation for both of them. And as if things weren't messy enough, Briana's mother, Rosa, arrives.
Rosa is such a force. Strong, opinionated, protective of her children.
She brings this whole other layer of humor and cultural richness to the story, especially in her interactions with Jacob.
Like when she teaches him to make pupusas. It's a heartwarming scene that shows how she's accepting him into the family despite all the craziness.
It's clear that Jimenez has created a cast of characters that are far from perfect, but incredibly lovable. They make you laugh, they make you cry, and they ultimately make you root for them to find their happiness.
And that's what keeps you turning the pages, wanting to see if Briana and Jacob can overcome their obstacles and build a love that lasts.
Exactly. It's a journey filled with ups and downs. And in part 3, we'll find out if they get their happily ever after.
Welcome back to our deep dive into yours truly. Briana and Jacob, they're at a crossroads. Their love is there, but those deep-seated fears and insecurities are holding Briana back. Pushing Jacob away like that, even though she says she loves him, it's rough.
It's like watching someone sabotage their own happiness, isn't it? Jimenez really captures how those past traumas can linger.
It's like she's trapped almost in this cycle of expecting heartbreak.
And Jacob, bless his heart, he just wants to be there for her.
Oh.
But he needs some reassurance too,
That conversation he has with Alexis, trying to figure Briana out, it's like he needs someone to translate her actions.
It's true. Sometimes we need an outsider's perspective to understand what's really going on.
Exactly. And Alexis makes him see that Briana's actions aren't about him personally. It's her own struggles she's working through.
It's a good reminder for all of us, really. Sometimes people's behavior is more about their own pain than anything else.
Right. And while all this is happening, they've still got Benny's surgery and that whole fake relationship thing hanging over their heads.
So much pressure, you almost wonder how they'll handle it all. But Jimenez is so skilled at weaving these different threads together. The love, the loss, the family dynamics.
And that scene at Amy's bachelorette party, when Shannon goes after Jacob, Briana just steps up and defends him. No hesitation.
Such a powerful moment.
It's like she finally finds her voice,
She's done letting others walk all over Jacob, especially after everything he's done.
Exactly. She's standing up for him, and in a way standing up for herself, too. She's finally realizing that this isn't just some pretend relationship anymore.
And for Jacob, seeing Briana defend him like that, it solidifies that his feelings for Amy are truly in the past.
He sees Briana's strength, her loyalty, and he knows she's the one.
And at Amy's wedding, when he chooses to be with Briana instead of dealing with the whole limo mess, it's like this beautiful affirmation of their connection.
They finally say those words, "I love you," and you can just feel the relief.
It's a testament to the healing power of love when you say, but then Briana's fears resurface and they separate again.
It's heartbreaking, but maybe it's what they both need at that point. Briana needs to face her demons head on, realize she doesn't have to repeat the past.
And Jacob, even though it hurts, he gives her the space she needs. He trusts that their love is strong enough to survive this.
And that scene where he goes to her at the hospital after Benny's surgery, he reads her that letter he wrote before the wedding, and oh my gosh.
With tears.
It's like this beautiful outpouring of his love for her, his commitment.
It's exactly what Briana needs to hear to finally let go of those fears.
That letter, it's pure vulnerability, pure honesty. It's what unlocks her heart, finally.
And then that epilogue, their wedding, surrounded by their crazy loving families. It's the perfect ending to their journey.
Yours truly isn't just a romance. It's a story about self-discovery, about learning to trust and embrace vulnerability.
It's about finding love in the most unexpected places and letting go of the past to build a future.
It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, and it'll leave you feeling hopeful.
So if you're looking for a story that'll warm your heart and remind you of the power of second chances, we highly recommend checking out yours truly. Subscribe to the channel and purchase the book using the link below to embark on your own reading adventure.